Eustace Conway has long been seen as a symbol of raw independence, a man who chose the wilderness over modern life and thrived in it. Known for his deep connection to nature and his life in the Blue Ridge Mountains, he inspired many through his resilience and skills. However, beneath the surface of this seemingly peaceful existence, a far more mysterious and unsettling story may have been unfolding. Recent revelations from his family suggest that his bond with the wilderness was not just profound, it may have been transformative in ways no one fully understood. A life built in the wilderness. From the age of 17, Eustace Conway committed himself entirely to life in the wild. Armed with little more than determination and instinct, he built a life from scratch in the Blue Ridge Mountains. Over time, he established Turtle Island Preserve, a place dedicated to teaching traditional survival skills and reconnecting people with nature. Visitors saw him as a master woodsman, someone who could endure harsh conditions and live in harmony with the land. His lifestyle appeared to represent freedom in its purest form, untouched by the noise and chaos of modern society. A deeper connection to nature. To those closest to him, Eustace's relationship with nature went beyond skill or admiration. His family often described it as something spiritual, almost otherworldly. He didn't just live in the forest, he seemed to become a part of it. Over time, this connection appeared to deepen in unusual ways. He began referring to the land as a living entity, often calling it she, and speaking about the forest as if it had awareness, memory, and intention. What once seemed poetic gradually began to feel unsettling to those who knew him best. Subtle changes over time. As years passed, small but noticeable changes began to emerge in Eustace's behaviour. His communication with family grew infrequent and distant. Letters that were once thoughtful became brief and cryptic. During visits, he often seemed withdrawn, lost in thought, or distracted by something unseen. Friends noted that he would sometimes stare into the forest for long stretches, as though listening to something beyond human perception. These moments of silence created an eerie impression that his attention was divided between two worlds, one visible and one hidden. Fame and isolation. With growing recognition came new pressures. While his life attracted admiration, it also brought cameras and public attention that conflicted with his deeply private nature. As his fame increased, so did his withdrawal from the outside world. The more people tried to understand him, the further he seemed to retreat. It was as though the attention disrupted the delicate balance he maintained with the wilderness. Those close to him sensed that the life he had built was beginning to strain under the weight of being observed and interpreted by others. Strange experiences at Turtle Island. Visitors to Turtle Island began sharing unusual experiences that added to the mystery. Some described hearing strange sounds at night, low humming, distant knocking, or whispers carried by the wind. Others spoke of an unsettling feeling that the forest was watching them. Eustace himself reportedly wandered alone after dark, carrying a lantern and a journal, speaking softly as though in conversation. These behaviours led some to dismiss him as eccentric, but for others they hinted at something far more complex and possibly troubling: rituals and beliefs. Over time, Eustace's actions began to take on a ritualistic quality. He was seen leaving small offerings, food, objects and trinkets, near a large oak tree deep in the forest. He claimed these acts helped maintain balance and kept the land calm. While some viewed this as a form of respect for nature, others worried it signalled a deeper detachment from reality. Family members grew increasingly concerned, especially as his explanations became more abstract and difficult to understand. The journals, one of the most revealing discoveries, came through Eustace's personal journals. These writings documented not only natural observations, but also strange encounters and beliefs. He wrote about watchers, mysterious beings he believed inhabited the forest, protecting its secrets. The pages included sketches of unusual symbols, descriptions of unexplainable footprints, and references to events that defied logical explanation. One particularly haunting line stood out: "They come when the fire dies." These writings painted a picture of a man grappling with something beyond ordinary experience. The hidden cabin. The mystery deepened when a previously unknown cabin was discovered on the property. Hidden beyond the main trails and concealed by thick vegetation, it appeared deliberately isolated. Inside were stacks of journals, meticulously organized and filled with years of observations. The cabin itself felt like a place of retreat, or perhaps concealment. Its existence raised new questions. Why had Eustace kept it hidden? And what had he been documenting so intensely away from everyone else? The disappearance. The most alarming event occurred when Eustace vanished without a trace for 3 days. His belongings were left untouched, and there were no signs of struggle or departure. Search efforts yielded no clues, no tracks, no scent, nothing. It was as though he had simply disappeared into the forest. When he finally returned, he was visibly shaken, pale and unwilling to explain where he had been. His only words, "I went too deep this time," left his family deeply unsettled and searching for answers. A man changed. After his disappearance, those around him noticed a profound shift. He became quieter, more guarded, and even more connected to the wilderness in ways that were difficult to articulate. It was as though the experience had altered him fundamentally. The forest was no longer just his home. It seemed to be something he served, respected, or even feared. His behavior suggested that whatever he encountered during those missing days had left a lasting impression on his mind and spirit. Conclusion: the story of Eustace Conway is no longer just one of survival and independence. It has evolved into something far more mysterious, a tale that blurs the line between reality and the unknown. Whether his experiences were the result of deep isolation, spiritual belief, or something truly unexplainable remains unclear. What is certain, however, is that his connection to the wilderness went far beyond what most people could comprehend. In the end, the mountains he loved may have given him more than purpose. They may have changed him forever.